Hey everybody, welcome back to Shapes 2. So I did a little bit of work. Let's go back here. And last time I left you, I was concerned about the size of, let me find one right here. So the size of this. And it's not necessarily the foundation cost. Okay, that's not really what I was looking at. I was looking at the sheer amount of basically pipes that are running into this, and the fact that it's costing me, well, one heck of a lot. So what I did was I changed it, and I made it all onto a 2x2 platform. And as you can see, the foundation, or the foundation cost, but the platform unit cost, I mean, is very minimal in this setup, which is what I wanted. So taking a look at this, it's a fairly simple, I'm going to call it a simple blueprint, but the sheer amount of piping it took me to get this done was quite a bit. But what I'm doing is I'm bringing in a fully saturated 3-level belt, and I'm bringing that in, and I should... Okay, so once this fires up again, okay, so as you can see, I'm bringing in 3. It's not really using it very quickly because the belts or the pipes are all saturated, but I think you get the point. It's bringing it in 3 levels. So fully saturated belts, both coming in, being supplied by a train. And then I put it through, each line goes to 2, which is the number. I stuck with the number this time around. I noticed that the math, although the pipes can handle 7,200, I was looking at that in the last one, and with the way I used to do my color mixing, I took it that I could fill a pipe, and it did. Yeah, it worked just fine. But then I was putting it through a fluid tank, and I'm not willing to get rid of the fluid tank. And no matter what, even if I did fill that line with 7,200, you get down to the output, and the outputs are still 1,800. So you can fill that pipe with whatever you want. You're still stuck. So anyways, each tank, a double set actually, but each tank is set up to 1 output. Okay, so that output will run at 1,800. That will run at 1,800, and then each one of these is hooked up to 2 color mixers. And yeah, it took me a little bit of piping to get this done, especially at the beginning here, especially at the start. So really, when it comes down to it, each level, right? Let's get rid of that. So each level brings itself, out and down, and then and I had to go, I had to go 3rd level with some of this stuff. So this is not a stackable recipe. And so what I did was I saved it as an individual so that if I ever want one singular color mix, then I can do this. And it comes out in 2 just because it was a lot easier to get these final pipes to work on 2 sides. And I mean, I was already over here, so why not use it? But due to basically the octopus at the beginning. So just wanted to show off that blueprint. I'm not sure. When I'm finally finished the end of this whole series, I'm going to start watching people. I'm going to start watching other YouTubers and whatnot. People that I respect, by the way. There's a lot of channels out there where I respect these people. I haven't done that because I kind of wanted to put my own signature on this. This is the way I rationalized it and thought through it and screwed it up and made mistakes and then came back. And anyways, so I'm going to run around and I'm going to change all of my multicolor stuff. So I'm at 5,923 blueprint points, foundation points. Okay. And I'm not going to care about blueprint points. I'm at 3.5 million, but I'm not going to care about that. But the foundation points is 5,923. Let's see how much I can save. I'm going to convert a lot of these guys, okay, like the over to same as this one. I'm going to train stuff over, and I'm going to see how much I save. Anyway, I'll get back to you in a quick moment. Hey, everybody, and I'm back. Okay, so I now converted everything. Like I said, I had 5923. I now have 7260. So that saved me 1,350 whatever. You know what I mean? That's a lot. So this is much more compact, and I'm liking it. I did use trains over very short hauls, but I used single trains. And then, you know, over the big ones because I still needed that red. But even the white one, it's pretty simple. I mean, I just bring in the two colors, make it into cayenne. You can, I mean, there's multiple different ways to make white. So you can make white from red and cayenne, green and magenta, cayenne and magenta, although I don't know why you would want to do that. You're better to use green and yellow, or sorry, blue and yellow, green and magenta, red and cayenne. That way you're only mixing one multicolor, and then you're using one of the base colors, like in this instance, I'm using red to turn it back into white. As far as an actual RGB, this doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, red and magenta probably wouldn't make white in the real world, but we're not going to go there. This is the parameters they gave us. So, I mean, this is just a double setup with the minimal amount in between. And yeah, I mean, this is a lot more compact, a lot better, personally. A lot better way of doing it. And my throughput is way, way better. I've been watching these, like these are now totally full. So I got 4,800 liters pumping into a line that, yes, can handle 7,200. I'm going to use these ones just because they're a little less convoluted. But these output launchers, the fluid launchers that stick it onto the belt, they will only run at 1,800 liters per minute. Like, that's it. You can't get these things to run any faster. These fluid contents, you'll notice there's a white line if you watch. So now, as I use it, I will be coming down, and then that'll slowly be filling up, and I will eventually get down to the bottom. But that's going to take 4,800 liters to get there at, you know, 1,800 per liters per minute, blah, blah, blah. So if I could have, I actually might have stuck a third set of, and maybe you could fit him in here. Yeah, him high. Maybe you could have. I don't know. I don't think so. Or you could put a whole platform of storage, meaning grab, you know, something like this, right? And then just make storage. If you really want the storage, you could put the storage before, you could put it after, and you could add more storage to your, more of a buffer zone, more of a, I don't need to mine it, I don't need to rely on my trains. This is just for pin task. I'm not absolutely sure what I'm going to do for the MAM, for the Make Anything machine. That's a totally different creature, and I'll get to that when I get there. This is just for pin tasks. Worst case scenario, I get into a pin task, I do it, I get to the end, it's done. I have to reset the whole, you know, portion of the factory that I made here anyway, so I'm not too worried about having that kind of throughput and guaranteed throughput on my, let's just say my white line here. Having 3 trains, or is it 4? Not 4. So having 4 trains hauling, that also holds, because each train, right, it holds, right, 3 sets for each color, right? So each color, it's got 3 sets. So, I mean, that's a lot of paint. That's 1,080 per. So it's like 3,000 per. You know, I mean, that's a lot. That's, and then, you know, 3,000 per train, 4 trains, there's 12,000 paint there. And then on top of that, each station holds, what is it again? There's one underneath here. So that's 1, 2, 3, there's 4, 8, 12,000 in the station. You know, that's a lot. That's, I mean, that's, you're looking at a lot of storage just in the trains and the logistics of getting it to, well, in this case, my pin task zone. So anyways, I'm going to get on to making another pin task. I've been skipping a lot of these. You'll notice that I'm way up at 7,200 platform points. I've got 200. Oh, yeah, by the way, my research points. So this will basically be the end of my research for this game. Is in Vortex Delivery, and that's it. There's nothing else. I've got it all. I've got all the research there is. I no longer care about research, but I got that in 75 operator levels. Yay, top 6.1 worldwide. Woo. Okay, I'm not all that whatever about that. I hate to say it. I mean, yeah, okay, that's an achievement. Yeah, it's nice. But it's not what you might think. It just means I've stuck in the game. I don't think that means I'm anything special. I'll be honest with you now. When I get to the end of this, and then I start working both of these randomized goals, and I mean both of them, not just one of them. I think one of them is going to be just like the normal level, and this will be an easy one. And this will be the crystal. This will be the pinned. Right? So I think the second one is the harder of the two MAMs, because I'm going to have to make 2 MAMs for this playthrough. And you think top 6.1 is something, wait till I get there. I mean, I was operator level 285, I think, if I reboot my normal level. By the time I had finished messing around with the MAM, and I only ever did the first MAM in my other playthrough normal, because then I looked at it and I went, you know what? Not to say I've mastered the game, far from. But I think I've got a really good handle on it. And I would like to, I'd like to put myself into a insane level factory and then do a recorded playthrough of it, which is where we're at right now. So anyways, so for this one, I'm going to need pretty easy. We'll get rid of you two. We'll go there. And then I'm going to need just that stuff out. Let's go here. We're going to need a cutter. So for those of you just joining, I've got, I haven't used the crystal generators yet. Those are some old blueprints, but I've got cut and stack, and you'll notice in each one of mine, I show the previous shape, show the shape that I turned it into, and then cut and stack, meaning I use the icons for cutting and stacking. And so, I mean, I was able to create a bunch of blueprints where I took certain parts of the previous shape and I cut certain parts out, right? I make, most of mine are 1 foundation or 2 foundation, and then whether they're multi-level, 2-level high. So a 1 foundation, 1 level. I don't have any cut and stacks because all of the stackers use 2 levels. But a cutter, okay, I would have 1 level. 1 level, 1 foundation, bottom half split to quarter. So that one's like a really old one because I can tell because I don't have it listed the right way personally. But anyways, so when I'm breaking into my blueprints and whatnot, I have organized them as, and I have some pin pusher ones. This is from the normal level. And then the painting one, I just finished redoing my color painting. So I, basically I've got these trimmed down. My rotators are 1 level high or 3 levels high, depending upon, and then it just turns it 180 counterclockwise or clockwise. The stacker stacks it, 3 times 3 levels side to top. The straights and turns, as far as 1 platform, 3rd level turn right. They're all fairly, a swapper recipes. Most of these are for doing the whatchamacallits. When I get into the crystal is where I use a lot of the swapper stuff. I just use some very basic, like this one, I want the angle or the kitty corner on it. And so I'll go to my cutter and I will take probably that one. And then I want the same thing over here. So I'll grab that same one. And all it does is it puts it through, and these are 2 levels high. And so what ends up happening is 2 of the lines go on the bottom, 2 of the lines go up top. It takes that, flips it around, and then turns it into this shape. I take that shape and I want, if I turn north, I'm going to want the round is the right way. The square is the wrong way. So pretty simple. Rotator clockwise. There. Right. One's red, one's white. So the squares are red. So I'm just going to go off to the red. Down here, take my pretty standard paint recipe. I call it standard. For me, it's a pretty standard recipe. It brings paint in the side. It shoves it through 4 painters because 4 painters is 4, and that's the proper math. And then it sticks it out the other side. I do not use whatchamacallits on these, the buffers, like the tanks. I don't use tanks on these. Just because they work. They have worked since the beginning. I don't see a point in doing that. I just don't. The next one is white. So I know my white is right here. And I mean, this to me, this is pretty simple stuff so far. I haven't really been having an issue. Save. I'm still not running into blueprint problems, like needing blueprint points. And so, and then I have a stacker recipe that I use. Stacker 3x, 3 levels, side is top. It's a very simple. I've mentioned it in previous episodes. I don't put a lot of exit and entry way off of these things, only because I never know exactly which way I'm going to go with them. And so I make them so that I have to, I got to put them together, but I don't mind. Okay. And there's the first piece. Pretty simple. And we get to see now whether I'm going to run out of white. I'm just wondering. Like, I know I stress my system when the first initial, right, where it just about empties. It comes really close to emptying out as it spits out, nice fluid straight lines of all 3 levels, right? Because I do blueprints on all 3 levels. I always have. Well, okay, not always. I'm sorry. No, hang on. Not always. At the beginning of the game, I wasn't using all 3 levels. There was no point. Now, the pin tasks are 9,000, 12,000, 12,000, 18, 21, 18K. You know what I mean? If the 21K, 15K, 18K, 30K, 30K. Yeah. And my operator levels, I'm up at like 350, 832,000, 797,000. Yeah. So when you get up to that, you better be using all 3 of your levels. But it looks to me like my paint is catching up with me. Meaning before I was running out of the one that I was using, right? Now I could, if I wanted to, I could drag one of these lines, bring it over, and then I'm sucking out a 2, and I could do that. I want it to work because to me, in these pin tasks, well, this one's not going to be an issue. Yeah, that one, okay. So in this one, I have 3 layers of white, right? So I'm going to be having 3 white painters going in that. Now, of course, it's pins, so it's the next milestone. But you see what I mean by I have 3 layers of white in that one that I'm going to have to deal with. That's just 2 layers. But you see, I hope you're getting my point here is that I want this to be able to keep up with me, and it wasn't. My previous paint at the beginning of last episode, my paint was not proper. My paint mixers were not proper. I had mixed up the math. I don't know. Anyway, so there's our piece. Always face north on your pieces when you're looking at them. Now, for me, I like to stop it here and just up until it backs up. So I usually pay attention here and I'm watching it, and I'm fairly, I'm not 100% full belts, but I'm fairly full. What I should do is I think the next recipe I'm going to redo will be this one, and I'll be using the curved stackers. Because if you look at the 2 stacker variants, right? This one and this other one. Okay. So one is a curved stacker. It's the bent stacker. It'll do 45 per minute, 4 buildings per full belt. Okay. Whereas this one is 6 buildings and it only does 30 per minute. So anyways, this is all backed up, but that's why I haven't really cared. To be honest with you, it hasn't mattered to me. And then I'll fire it off when it's all backed up. This way, this is all nice and even. I don't know. I'm weird that way. Anyways, I've got like 8 trains. They're coming in at 45-second or at 15-second intervals. And then they take off and they go back to the main base, which to me is not really a very active place right now. I mean, yeah, I got 3 things going to the vortex, but nothing. And this next one coming in, which will be from here, adds a 4th one coming off. There's not much to look at here. I get rid of my beginnings areas. My reason for that is once I get finished, all of the operates will be 8. And then this is 9 and 10. And then in theory, I might need a blueprint, which will be 11. So that means I need 11 inputs to be able to bring it in and shove it in here. I tried keeping some stuff going, like the blueprint thing. I tried that here at the main base. It did not work for me. It was a hassle. So I didn't do it. I do have all of the upgrades, which means I now have somewhere down here vortex delivery, meaning I could have a train hop into the vortex. I don't really care. I really like the view when this really starts getting going. Like when I get a lot more pin tasks, I get all of my milestones coming in here. I get totally changes it. Makes it into a different view in there. Anyway, I'll be back in a sec when this one's done. Alrighty. So I've already set up for the next one. I've already got it going because I figured I had enough on the trains to just let that fly. Basically, it's bringing in another piece, white, gray, and then this one should be another white, 2 half circles, or 2 whatever, 2 quarter circles, kitty corner to each other, and everything looks good. It all looks like it's the right direction. So these are all pretty easy. I don't mean to breeze through this. If anybody has any questions, comments, please leave them down below. If you want me to explain anything, please do. But this has struck me as being a fairly easy portion of the game, which is why I'm kind of breezing through it really quick. Like I did a whole bunch of I just did a bunch of pin tasks. I'm sitting here on the last pin task and I'm going to show you this one going through. But that means that I didn't, I want to show completeds here. That means I didn't do the Order of the Triad, Sight Beyond Colors, the Suspicious Melding Ritual. That one was, these were all fun ones to put together, but that really with the way I'm doing my blueprints, pull a piece, cut it, spin it, paint it, stack it, it's, I don't know, to me, it's a fairly easy system to get your proverbial shtick together. And I'd still make mistakes. I still make the wrong piece once in a while, or I won't, I don't know. I put one piece on it wrong, something I don't pay attention. I'm trying to go fast. I also mentioned, like before, to me, this is a bit of an AFK game, meaning I get a piece going like this, and then I'll get up and I'll walk away. You know what I mean? I won't sit here and, show you the ins and outs and the little bits and pieces. And I'm still using an old straight stacker recipe. I don't see the point going bent yet. I don't see the point. I can only get 4 per line anyway. It doesn't really help me out. In other blueprint and other ways of doing it, it's possible that I could, in a larger blueprint, it's possible when using like a larger, foundation, I could, do something different. And maybe there is a reason and a purpose for that bent stacker that I only want 4 in a line, this sort of thing. But I usually wait for this to get set up and then dump it in. And that's it. That's fairly simple. And then I get up and I'll go do something around the house. So, I mean, this is a game that I've done when the honeydew list gets a little too big and I've been honey ignoring the list. And it's no longer a honeydew, it's a honey get your ass in gear list. And it's the way I've been treating this game. I have other games that I treat this way as well, where it's a space bar away, to stop the game and go do something around the house. I've been getting a lot of little projects done the last couple days here around the house. Because I've been streaming for exorbitant hours and having fun doing that. And, just playing the games that I've been playing and it's been a lot of fun. But, I had to get a couple things done around the house, which is why I, decided I'd load Shapez again and then get a bunch of this stuff done. Yes, I skipped over a bunch of pin tasks. They were pretty boring. I hate to say it. Everybody, these are not that much of a challenge. Maybe it's the way, like I said, I have not watched anyone else. So I don't know how anyone else is doing this. Like how they've tackled it, how they've, decided to take on how they build a shape, how they do things. I don't know whether my system seems to be working as far as I'm concerned. I've done research. I've got tons of platform points. I'm fully ready to tackle the milestone where I wasn't when I left you before I started doing all these pin tasks. There was a couple of times where it got touch and go whether I'd have enough foundations to actually have that thing get loaded. It was touch and go. It was it was touch and go. I'm going to just leave it as it was touch and go. I could bring in 2 trains. There's a whole bunch of things I could do. I could be tackling this milestone. Even with stuff around me, possibly I could be tackling it. I don't know. As I said, I normally, and I'm getting down to the fact that I'm pretty much done everything around the house. So the honeydew list is pretty much empty. Back to enjoying my coffee and playing my games. The rest of these are running, really, really well as far as I'm concerned. I haven't looked at this one in quite a long time, but it looks to me like, I've got fairly steady and heavy saturation on all my levels. I'm guessing I've got another train coming in. Yeah, there we go. You know what I mean? Like I don't foresee any breaks in any of these when I come here, because you can just press the jump to vortex, and rather than loading it, because you won't see me using the whatever one it is here. I'll use the roller coaster for sure, but it's this other one up here a ways, wherever it is. The train that goes into the vortex delivery train. I probably will never use it. Just because I like to watch and, do I have an issue? Do I have a throughput issue? I'm gaining the same points. Like my operator levels are gaining the exact same points. That's not going to change. The throughput is the throughput. Unless I build a double factory, right? And then shove a train and conveyor belts. Have 2 different ones doing the conveyor belts. I don't know, but I'm going to need 11 of these. And there's 12 right now. So there's 3 aside, 4 sides, 12. I'm going to need 11 of them by the time I'm finished this insane factory level. That is if I get the second MAM going. I never got the crystal or the pins going in normal level. When I played that one, it would be this first randomized goal. I got the first one going, and in normal level, I don't know about this level. I don't know about insane, but I do know in normal level, this shape never got that difficult. So I'm kind of thinking that this shape is where I'm going to get into the crystals and the pins. Not too sure. I don't know. So I might have to adjust. I'm going to make the MAM for the first original. I'm going to use my previous, what I have. because I have somewhere in here, 1 to 4 all hookups. So when I superimpose this one, you'll see that it uses 1,100 platform points, 990,000 blueprint points, and this is just one setup. So I have all of the trains coming in. Now that I flipped it, I have all the trains coming in the bottom for all the colors. And just above that, those 4 extra lines, those are the 4 shapes. And then I put that through. There is some logistics in there, of course, because you have to do logistics in this. And then the line that's on the upper left-hand side is my shape. Actually, you know what? I can't. No. So I won't be able to show you. I'd have to put it down, and I don't want to blow 990,000 blueprint points just to. Sorry, don't want to do that. But looking good. Okay. So now we're down to. Well, I think about 58. I gotta wait for a little bit. So I'll be right with you. Actually, you know what? The next shape uses. Oh. So the circle's going to have to turn magenta. Alrighty. We'll unlock that. This is our next shape. So I got a magenta and I got some cyan on top. So this one stays white. This one. Yeah, that one stays white. And that's red onto white. Okay. So it's second level. Is still gray in this one. And the next level is white. That still happens. It's from here on. Let's just reset that. Just delete it to reset it. So yeah, that one. So I need another white. No, sorry. I just need the magenta and the... Yeah, okay. So this one. And then we'll gather that up. And we could gather that up the other way. Okay. Then I need a cyan circle for this, for the top of it. Cyan circle square combination. A lot of circles in this one. Okay, well. Well, they do bypass each other. Yep, they do. Okay, let's go this way. Before we go very far, we're gonna need... the square's the opposite way. Okay, so I need this one. Take a copy of that. We'll put it here. There. Underneath. Works for me. And copy that. Oops. Let's not. And say we did. Okay. So there we go. Copy. We're gonna go that way with it. Let's get rid of that one just for a sec. That's for future concerns, by the way. And then we will stack these two together. Okay, this needs to be colored cayenne. That works. Okay. Now we've got that piece getting stacked. And it should be, okay, it's the right way. All is well with the world. But it has to come in after the magenta. So and then we gotta bring this one up. Oops. Okay, so let's well, this should be going well. Been pretty good. And when I start getting that cayenne piece coming in. Yep. And I'm going to have some color changes in the next one. I think I can still, because the whole bottom turns red. The next piece becomes white and magenta. The next piece becomes magenta instead of white. And then this purple piece, or well, the magenta. Sorry, white becomes cayenne. And then the solid circle becomes... Oh, they get rid of it. Oh. So then it's this magenta piece that I'm putting on top. This cayenne piece that I'm putting on top. Yeah, okay. Need more coffee, right? Mm-hmm. So they do some switching, and then on top of that, I'm going to have to pull out a windmill or two. So I might just restart the whole thing after the next one. Oh, I should be able to get the next one out without too much problem. Not too much changes. There's a turn on this third level. The 4th is like deleted to a certain extent. And then the 5th drops down to the 4th and it gets colored yellow instead of cayenne. The round magenta piece is gone. So yeah, no problem. Easy peasy. I find when I look at the pin task to start with and I take each one of these and I take a screenshot of it. Okay, and I spread it out and I get it just to the top of my screen and then I take a screenshot of that. And then I know what I'm looking at ahead of time and then I can sometimes set up for some of it. Like I was saying, there is some changes, right? Like the whole bottom turns red. Okay, well that's one change. And then this is no longer gray. The circle, it's now cayenne. The next level was white, but I got to give it a quarter turn and turn it cayenne. The round magenta piece that was there, it's not there no more. And then the top piece that was cayenne gets turned yellow and it doesn't even change orientation. So I just got to change the color. So as opposed to this one, right? Whereas, you know, so. And then the last one, well, the bottom turns into a circle. The second level is the same, but the third isn't, the 4th isn't. So because 3 levels totally changed, like total and absolute change, I'm just going to gut it and redo this whole area. Okay, am I backed up? I am. Something's wrong though. You're wrong. Why are you wrong? Ah, there it is right there. Like I've said in previous ones, I do screw that up once in a while. And it's just because I refuse to tie myself to a bunch of blueprints where it's exit left, exit right. I'd rather screw up once in a while. I don't have a problem with it. Alrighty, we should be good here. Because that's 3,000 worth. I'm already at 9,700. So. Should be good. Yeah. So this is all going to change. First of all, you're gone. Okay. So I'm not going to need magenta till the 4th piece or the 5th piece. Now. That's the bottom level, so I don't need red and white. So this there we go. So the bottom piece is now going to be all red. The second piece is going to be Magenta and gray, or magenta and white. Which means this piece. Okay. Then you are no longer white. Oh, I do need you though. Okay. And you now face the opposite direction. Yes, you do. Let's cut you out there. Rotator clockwise. Blink. Okay, so we rotate that one. Split that. You are no longer white. You are now magenta. In case you didn't know it. Okay. So these two lines should both be magenta. That one's a little empty. Why is that one a little empty? Yeah. That's funny. That's not funny, but it's funny. I was never picking up blue. That's hilarious. Well, that'll change things now. Wonder if we should add another train just to... I probably... Okay, well, that'll, yeah. That'll change things. Yeah, I don't need two trains. One will do just fine. It's a pretty short distance. Okay. So now we're getting magenta back. Okay. We're just going to change which ones we're using. Yeah, can't get you one, we'll get you another. Okay. You are no longer cayenne. Oops. Let's try getting pipeline in there. Okay, there. You are now cayenne. Clear the lines. Okay. so you are proper. You are yellow. Okay. And I need a yellow line. These bees. There we go. Am I facing the right way? Yes, I am. Okay. So now we can actually start slapping this together. Okay. We're all good. And then that one's that way. This one's this way. Yeah, we're good. That moves on to you coming in that direction. That's good. And then you're on top. Okay. Like so. And that'll be that piece. Pretty simple stuff. Okay. Looking good. Yeah. I got a couple the wrong way. Oof. Like magic. Okay. Ooh, and then these are not supposed to be. They're supposed to be yellow. Here they come. And yep, facing the right way. Okay, just gotta wait for this one to load. Alrighty, on to the next one. Okay, so this one, the only thing that's the same is the second level. You know what? It's not that hard. Oh, see ya. And just in case you make a mistake when you're doing this, the Control Z key will get rid of any mistakes you make. Okay. So bottom piece is now circles. facing the right direction. We are good. Golden. Okay, so I'm just going to wait for that to, let's maybe one final check here. Okay. So that is the piece. That is what it looks like. That is all good. Yes, that is exactly what we're looking for. And then this one gets dropped on top of it. Yep. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Alrighty, so that'll be the end of the pin tasks for now. I can't do any of these other because they all use pins. Right, because you notice the shape code. The P is for pin, no color. So I'm going to have to complete the milestone. Let me just clear that. And then we will take this apart. And I get all my blueprint points back. So everybody, thank you very much for joining me in this episode. I'm going to continue with Milestone 7 in the next episode. This just got a little bit long. I wanted to show you that, the pin tasks to me are fairly easy. If I'm making a horrendous mistake, let me know in the comments. And I will show you each and every pin task. But if you follow me on the way I'm setting up the blueprints, even remotely, I thoroughly expect people to kind of do their own thing when it comes right down to it, and come up with your own little flair to your blueprints. But if you follow my even general way of doing things, these are pretty simple. It's not that difficult. It's just time. This is kind of a, I don't know, I'm referring it to as an AFK game. Meaning you do a bunch of stuff, you get up, you go AFK, you sit back, sip your coffee. Anyways, so thank you very much. And like I said, leave me a comment down below. If you like what I'm doing, like, subscribe on the video and all the rest of that. And thank you for joining me.